Hi friends, in today's video I'm going to show you how to use your paper scraps to make this adorable jack-o'-lantern garland, perfect for adding a festive touch to your Halloween decor. Let's jump right in. Alright, let's start out with what you'll need. Grab your paper scraps, any sizes, shapes, or colors you've got. You'll also need some twine, a little ribbon, and a couple of dies if you have them. I'm using the nested pumpkins from scrapbook.com. I'll be using the second pumpkin to the largest one. For the pumpkin faces, I've got the Trinity Stamps Halloween die set, but honestly, you can cut out your own pumpkin faces with an X-Acto knife if that's easier. I'm also using the scrapbook.com black mixed media paper pad and some Recollections double-sided adhesive sheets. I cut down my adhesive sheet down to 8.5 by 11 to match my paper size. Then I peel off the top layer and stick it right on top of my paper. I like to work in sections so it doesn't get all sticky at once. Just peel a little bit at a time. Now comes the fun part. Start laying down your paper scraps however you want, overlap them, mix colors, go wild. This is where your creativity really comes in and you create really unique patchwork pumpkins. Once you've covered the whole paper, trim off the extra edges. And there you go, your patchwork paper is done and it already looks so cute. Now I'm grabbing my Sizzix Big Shot to cut out my pumpkins. The full sheet is a little too wide, so I just trim it down a bit first. I'm using the second largest pumpkin die, and I was able to cut out about 8 pumpkins from one sheet. Next, I'm using the Trinity Stamps die to cut out little jack-o'-lantern faces. You could also hand cut them if you don't have the die set. Either way works great. To give them a little more depth, I'm using Distress Ink and Vintage Photo. I just go around the edges and a bit on the inside of the face openings. It's a really subtle touch, but it makes such a difference. It gives them that nice, slightly aged look. Now I'm gluing a piece of scrapbook paper behind each face so the features really stand out. I'm using a sheet from Graphic 45's Halloween in Wonderland paper pad. This is an old one that I've had in my stash. It's got a black background with tan polka dots, which looks so cute behind the patchwork. Now you can leave the backs as is or cover them with another piece of coordinating paper if you want a cleaner finish, but really up to you if you prefer that raw edge versus the cleaner edge. All right, so it's time to put everything together. I dug into my ribbon stash and made little bows with black and white gingham ribbon. I also found some burlap ribbon with a bit of gold thread. It naturally curves so it kind of looks like a pumpkin stem. I just hot glue the ribbon stem on top of each pumpkin, then add a tiny bow on top. You can make your stems as long or as short as you like. I've got 8 pumpkins total and I'm spacing them evenly on a piece of twine. At each end of the twine, I make a little loop. That just makes it a lot easier to hang. Then I hot glue each pumpkin in place, leaving a little space between them. And that's it. My garland is all done, and I hung it right over my bookcase in my craft room. It adds so much cozy fall charm. I seriously loved how it turned out. Who would have thought a bunch of paper scraps could make something this adorable, huh? I really hope you give this project a try. It's such a fun way to use up those leftover bits of paper instead of just tossing them out. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that little bell so you don't miss my next crafty idea. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. Happy crafting, and I will see you all next time. Bye.